Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this Dad Rail live stream with special guest speaker Emily from Northern Princess Productions. We will be starting in around about 3 or 4 minutes' time. Please have your drinks and light refreshments ready. Taking a ride on the Midland Mainline in a Class 319 and an HST. Starting soon. Good evening, everybody. Hello and welcome. What's going on? The sounds have all gone funny. Come back. That's not supposed to happen. We are having some technical difficulties at the moment, I'm afraid.
Belongings will be at all times. Any unattended baggage will be removed and may be destroyed by security services.
Hello, good evening, and welcome. Hopefully, we don't have any more technical difficulties. Hopefully, everything is going to work just right now. I had the stream open in another browser window, so it was coming back at me with quite a significant delay, which was very off-putting. Anyway, welcome to the second stream in a row, which is impressive with my reputation. Who have we got in tonight? Trainspot from Berkshire, Laser Jet, Pig and Bob, DET, Roadblocks, Arthur Morgan, TR9 Trainspotting, great to have you here, bud. Supertram 103, Grape Juice, and anybody else that I have missed, great to have you here. So guys, we are going to be doing the Midland Mainline today. We're going to be doing an HST run and a Class 319 run with enhancement packs. And I'm pleased to tell you that joining me in the voice chat is Emily from Northern Princess Productions, who has very kindly put together the southbound scenario for this. Hello, Emily.
Hi.
I think can we hear Emily in the chat? Give us something for levels, Emily. Recite the alphabet or something.
A B C D E F G H I J K L.
You sound good. You sound good in my headphones,
Hello?
but let us know in the chat. You sound good in our head.
I mean, yeah, I sound good in your headphones, but even to me, I'm just an annoying voice. So let's see what you are saying.
Can we hear Emily in the chat? Let me know, and then we will crack on. It's a bit quiet. Yeah, no worries. We can up the volume. We'll put that up quite significantly. Give us a bit more, Emily. What did you have for dinner?
Some Pringles.
Can't go wrong with Pringles.
I literally put one in my mouth as you asked me that question.
I wouldn't advise that. Okie dokie. I think we should be okay now. Let me know in the chat. There's a little bit of a delay. We're really disorganised tonight, as you can tell, but it should be a good stream all the same.
No, hang on. You said that we were kicking off for 8:30. I was ready here at 8:30. It's now 5:00.
Okay, I'll get the hint. Even tea and biscuits isn't working. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, should we play the game? Before we jump in, guys, I've got to tell you all the views and opinions expressed within this video are solely my own, may not for those companies I may be employed by or associated with, and the same applies to Emily as well. I'm going to put my camera up a bit because I'm wearing a Works top and I've just noticed that with branding on it, which probably isn't very clever. So we're going to be doing...
Richard, I thought my opinions were that of every corporation in the world.
You're the spokesperson. Okay, let's...
Yeah, like Microsoft, the FSB, everything in between.
Let's press the button. Why am I looking for a game to capture? Oh, this is... Train Sim is open. What is going on? Okay, right. Come back tomorrow, guys. We'll do it properly. Train Sim, what? Oh. Okay, that sort of doesn't work because it's come up massive. This is on the fly editing. I do apologise, guys. We will get into this. Normally the streams are much more professional, I promise. Okay, so the first thing we've got is a broken scenario, which is a bit weird because I loaded this up earlier and it worked absolutely fine. So
I broke it. Sorry. Press F2 and then press
F2, cancel. She's smoking nicely. Someone was asking if this has got the AP packs in it. Yes, this has got the all the AP packs, Just Trains packs, and various other packs installed. Emily, you created the scenario, so you've kind of got a good idea of what enhancements we've got going on here.
Yeah, so pretty much everything AP and the delivery is by Major Wales. And it's the Y key to clear that.
There we go. Yeah, because the keyboard commands are a bit funky on this one, aren't they? So hopefully...
Yeah, it's the... yeah.
We may have to do some tweaking with the volume levels, guys, as the train hopefully starts moving. Interesting. Very interesting. Any ideas what I'm doing wrong? My brakes are fully released. I'm in forward. My DRA is off.
Did you do the master key? So throttle back to off. Sorry, not throttle off.
Yep.
Reverser back to off as well.
Yep.
Press Shift W. Reverser forward.
Oh, I see. So it will let you move the reverser even if the master key's off.
Yeah, it's basically just breaks the script.
Well, hey, we're moving. We got there. So what HST is this that we are driving at the moment? Is this a Valenta or is this a...
MTU.
MTU.
So, yeah, East Coast had MTUs. The majority of there's Neville Hill 85, which was the set that LNER/VTech would lease from East Mids. That had VP185 because it was an East Mids set, but East Coast was always MTU. By the way, if you press K, then Control and K, then H, and then J, that's at the headlights.
Control and K, H, and J.
And then, yeah, perfect. H one more time. Oh.
We have lights. Perfect. It's going well. Traincraft, yeah. It's not a good start. Arthur Morgan, Richard swore. I'm pretty sure I didn't. You would not catch me saying or anything like that. Right, we are off. So we are stopping.
The viewers at home. So the viewers at home had a beep there. You would not catch me saying anything like that.
You're getting the behind the scenes footage. So we are literally fast to St Pancras International, and then our return journey is going to be a Class 319, an Armstrong Powerhouse Class 319, which is a modified AP scenario, I believe.
Yeah, so I tried to build a scenario, it broke in a really fun way, so I just gave up because it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I wanted to have this to you fairly rapidly, so yeah.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. Frame rate's a little bit laggy, not sure what's going on there, but we'll stick with it. We'll stick with it for the time being. Somebody asks, Supertram 103. Love it. What? I've lost the comment now. I'm doing well, aren't I? No, Platform 5, sorry. What is your favourite biscuit, Richard? Well, me and Emily were discussing Tom Scott and technical difficulties earlier, so it's got to be Mystery Biscuits.
Mystery Biscuit.
I am so tempted to nick that and use that on the channel. For when we have tea and biscuits with the manager, it should be Mystery Biscuits. I don't...
Go with that.
Transport from Berkshire, I haven't programmed them in yet, but I will do. They're really good, so thank you very much for sending me those announcements over. I definitely will get those used at some point. Yeah, officially, Charles, it's the AP track, the AP signal pack, the AP sky and weather pack. I think pretty much everything on the route is non-standard, other than the route itself.
Yeah. Well, actually, there's some 395s that I put in the high-speed sidings at St Pancras, high-speed platforms at St Pancras. Aside from that, everything's at least got an AP enhancement pack.
Fantastic, and it does look. I mean, I'm obviously Train Sim World is kind of my preferred game, I guess. Please don't hate me for that. But when you put all the enhancement packs onto Train Sim Classic and you start running custom scenarios, it's a very nice game.
Yeah, I mean, sorry. Yeah.
No, sorry. Carry on.
I was going to say, for me, I see both sides of it. Like, TSW is, if you pick Train Sim up once a week and play it for an hour, I agree Train Sim World's the better game. But in the last 2 weeks, let me check how many hours I've put into it. I actually don't know how to check, but it's been at least sort of 30 or 40.
In the last...
And at that point, you just run out of things.
You've done 30 or 40 hours in the last couple of days in Train Sim World?
Last 2 weeks, yeah.
Oh, okay.
'Cause it's been... No, in Train Sim Classic, sorry. 'Cause I've been making quite a few scenarios. So, you know... Did you know, Richard? If you go to the Train Sim Community Mods website, all of my scenarios are available on there now.
I think you need to say that again for the stream, and I think we should post that somewhere in the chat.
If you take yourself over to the Train Sim Community website, all the scenarios, including this one, which will be there up next week, are available for your perusal. All my fun scenarios, like going from Cardiff to Holyhead and a mock. And I've forgotten what else. Also, little Easter egg for the viewers at home. Some of the scenarios are tagged as Dad Rail scenario.
Well, hey.
Those are actual trains that you've driven.
Dad Rail scenarios, I like it. I like it. Arthur Morgan, where is Mum Rail? Say hello, Mum Rail. And we need a name for Debbie. Recently single, looking for Love Rail. Any takers in the chat? No, we haven't done a locomotive livery location yet, Grape Juice. But we can do. Why not?
Post your numbers now for locomotive livery location.
So if you haven't seen this game before, guys, post your numbers in the chat now between 1 and 25. I'm going to pick the third number that comes up on my screen, and you will get the hang of it as we go along. It's a pretty straightforward one. Tonight's picture has been provided by Davidoff, who was extremely generous in yesterday's stream, but I'm not biased in any way, shape or form. It's a good picture though. Hey, Loco Class 66, how are we doing? Good evening. Sam Brooks, great to have you here. SJA, Train Sim Classic always wins me over just by its versatility. In scenario creation, routes and stock, you can do long or short routes. I completely get that. 100% get that. But do you think if we had like a scenario editor for Train Sim World, and Train Sim World was sort of opened up to third-party devs, do you think that would then, in time, become the dominant game? Do you think more people would develop for that if it was easier to do so?
I think you need more than just the scenario building. With TS Classic, you've got pretty much every train that's ever run on the UK mainline up until the last 2 years, when we had a lot of new stock coming in. That makes it easier to create variety, and that is my main issue with TSW. There's certain routes you can get away with quite well, like East Coast Way or that kind of stuff. You can do that to a really good standard now. But if we were to try and do this scenario, it would get boring really fast, because you've got in TSW at the moment, you probably have a Meridian, a 5-coach Meridian and an 8-coach 700 is what you'd have. And whilst that works to an extent, you lose the little bits of detail of like the 360 went past us before in the temporary livery that they had when they first came into survey.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
But you can do a lot of that with Creators Club, though, can't you?
Yes and no. I mean, there's putting textures on things helps, right? But it's not the same as what you can, like let's say in TS Classic, for example. Don't think any of the locals in your train have got it, but if you have a look in the sidings when you go past Cricklewood, there's little bits that Major Wells has put in with the pack, like variations in the horn grills, and it's just lots of little details that makes it feel a lot more fuller to me. I think that's probably the best way to put it. Is to me, TSW is a good game, but it can feel a bit hollow.
I think though, when you get, I'll take like the Southeastern High Speed for example, with the number of layers you've got on that now, you pretty much have everything on it that runs in that area, and it does feel, especially when we get the 700 as well, it does feel very immersive because of that, and you kind of need to carry that across to every other route. Exactly,
but the problem you have is, it tends to be once you get out the southeast, you do get more variety in rolling stock. Like, I would say Newcastle's gone, obviously my home station, gone back a lot in variety of stock, but you've got, even just on Northern, you've got 156s, 158s, Azumas, Voyagers, the odd HST, the odd Ray. And it's that level of variety we need to build up, and I think releasing an editor to the general public would be great, because that's the way you speed up development, is you give everyone access to do development, right? And I think we're slowly getting towards that. But to be fair to Dovetail on this one, full disclosure, I was once employed by Dovetail. The TSW editor is so different. It is completely different to TS Classic. I can't put into words how different it is.
That's a fair point. Anyway, we better do locomotive location livery because everyone's posted their numbers and I haven't pressed the button yet. Sam Brooks, number 13.
Let's play locomotive livery location.
Okay, guys, if you haven't seen this game before, I'm going to give you box number 13. You have then got 10 seconds to give me the locomotive livery and location of the picture underneath. Here we go. Oh, interesting. Any ideas from that little snippet? Dead centre there, number 13. As always, let me know your thoughts in the chat about what that could possibly be. Supertram, Richard, please sort the chat. It's quite a lot of toxic things here. We've got a couple of mods in who are hopefully dealing with that. Unfortunately, while I'm gaming and chatting, I can't really do too much about it. But hopefully
start whacking some time. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'll get on.
I am keeping an eye on it, and Emily's also a mod as well. So.
Yes, platform 5. I am trans. Unfortunately, I've got a dark voice. Sucks for me. It's something that we might dive into later. But yeah. Sorry, I just thought I'd answer that here since it's going to get asked a lot, so I might as well cover it off now. And local class 66. Yes, I did. It is up on Trends and Community right now.
I'll also say to Platform 5, doubt you remember, Richard, but you were the one that got me to 100 subs, and I'm nearly at 300 now, so that is absolutely fantastic, bud. Have a round of applause for that. And, of course, if you haven't already, you know what I'm going to say, head over to Platform 5's channel and subscribe. Let's see if we can get him to 350 by the end of the stream. That would be pretty awesome if we could do that. Grape Juice looks like a steam train. GJ Barnard, Black 5 Kettle, Arthur Morgan, it's a train. DT, steam train. Transport from Berkshire, Black 5. Arthur Morgan, hello. Is it the Flying Scotsman, says Phil 8715. do let me know what you think it is. Ashley Smashley, I enjoy the livery designer in Train Sim well, but I wish you could turn off custom designs in timetable as a setting, because some designs I make are only for scenario. Yeah, I completely get that. You kind of make a really wacky, like, Dad Rail Livery Class 66, which has been done. I believe it's on the Creators Club somewhere. And then you're driving a timetable service and it suddenly goes past and you lose all sense of realism. So being able to kind of select what liveries you want in the game at any given time is... Yeah, I would definitely support that. I think that's a good idea. Guys, yeah, so someone's just put, "Ah, stupid ad." That wasn't me. YouTube are doing this thing where they're putting ads midstream, and I forgot to untick the box, because generally speaking, I don't have ads midstream, as you would have noticed. I might randomly put one in the middle somewhere myself, like if we've got a break in the proceedings, if I'm going to get a drink or using the loo or something. But as a rule, I don't put ads midstream because they're really bloody annoying, if we're being honest. So I apologise for that. So where are we now? We're coming through... Is this Mill Hill Broadway? Luton. I'm miles out. Getting down for the 90.
Yeah, this experience... Yeah, we're not nearly in London. This experience is going to be a lot longer than that. Sorry.
So when we do the 319 run, which is an AP 319, I believe that is a Blackfriars Thameslink, St Pancras Thameslink. Is that as far as St Albans, a stopper?
I think so. Yeah, no, Luton to come back up here.
Back up to Luton.
Yeah.
Hey, Formula 47, how are we doing? Yeah, SJA, the AP Sky does look nice. I'll give you that. It does add so much to the game. Craig, YouTube should have tea and biscuits for the manager. Arthur Morgan, only a little bit. We'll be alright with that. That wasn't too much speeding. That was just a little tiny bit. Grape Juice, a YouTuber who finds their own ads annoying. That's new. At the end of the day, Grape Juice, if there's ads constantly going off, it distracts from the stream, doesn't it? You know, and you're trying to watch the route, and you're trying... If we play Locomotive Livery Location and then an ad pops up, that's really, really annoying. Or we're kind of talking about something and an ad pops up. It's really annoying. So generally speaking, that's why I don't have ads midstream. You might get an ad at the beginning and an ad at the end. But yeah, I don't do YouTube for the financial benefit. I get, to be honest with you, from YouTube itself, I get very little. I pay a subscription for Adobe for editing software, and it just about covers that a month if I'm lucky. But I mean, I've got some very generous people. Davidoff yesterday, Jason, Sussex Rail enthusiast, Stu amongst others, who super chatted yesterday, which is really, really good. But I do it for kind of the whole community. I've met some really lovely people for doing it. I've met Emily through doing YouTube. I've met, you know, quite a few people in the community, and that's why I do it. I do it because I enjoy doing it. If I was doing this as a full-time job, it's not for me. I do it because I enjoy doing it, and the day I stop enjoying it will be the day I stop doing it. Callum, what's the fastest you can speed in a train? Depends on the type of train. Ashley Smashley, wish we get a class 319 in Train Sim World one day. Yeah, that I would be up for. Yeah, see, Callum raises a very good point. My bill to Yorkshire Tea and the Jammy Dodger Corporation is far more than I earn on YouTube.
I mean, even the donations aren't covering that.
No, absolutely not. And I do like to think, generally speaking, you know, we've, with Emily's help and all the other moderators in the Discord and on the streams, we have built a really, really friendly community, generally speaking. So we're kind of keen to keep that up. So sticking at the 100.
I mean,
yeah, sorry. No, carry on.
No, ignore me.
Ignore you. Lee Roblox, is the AP66 worth it? Okay, so I'm going to be controversial here. Without the AP fan club absolutely lynching me. As someone who drives 66s nearly every day of the week, I think for its time it probably was okay. However, the 66 in Train Sim World is... I'm not saying Train Sim World is far better. Let's just get that straight. The 66 in Train Sim World is far better than the 66 in Train Sim Classic. That comes from someone who drives them nearly every day of the week. I mean, the one in Train Sim World does use AP sounds. It's not perfect. There are things wrong with it, but there is less wrong with the Train Sim World version than what there is with the AP version, if that makes sense. I'm trying to be very cautious because the AP fan club will lynch me next time I leave the house. But yeah, that's my honest opinion on it. Hey Sias, how are we doing? Formula 47, your community is excellent. That's it's more a credit to the mods than it is to me, bud, definitely. But thank you for that, really appreciate it. It's quite hilly, this route, actually, isn't it? It's quite uppy downy. Just an advance warning, my children have just come back from their Friday youth club and they're about to come running in, making lots of noise. You have been warned. In actual fact, just for a few moments, we're going to do that. But we shall play Locomotive Livery Location.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
That is completely and utterly the wrong button. Let's try that one.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
So I use a Stream Deck controller to control the stream, and I have reorganised the position of all the buttons, and they're in a more logical order now, but because they're in a logical order, I can't find them, which makes perfect sense. Josh Rickwood, do you sign the route from Strood down to Tunbridge by any chance, or have you driven it before? So that is a route that I do not sign. However, I expect at some point in the future I will be learning it. It is one of our core routes out of Tunbridge Depot, so I would imagine at some point I will learn that route. But at the moment, no, I do not sign that route. However, I have been over it numerous times when I was doing my initial driver training. So I have driven the route quite a few times, but no, I don't actually sign it myself. Who have we got? Third number on my screen, Grape Juice 116 is the third number on my screen with number 17.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Give you number 17, guys. 10 seconds, please. That locomotive livery and location. We have people whose faces have been blurred for privacy reasons. Does that help? Does that help? Do let me know what you think in the chat.
Yeah, at first when I saw that, I thought that was like some freight wagon, like, you know, the Booby Potash, that kind of thing. Just no weird livery. But now that's got to be a Cal, right?
I can't possibly comment. You are allowed to have your opinion, but I know what it is, so I cannot be I cannot lead at this point.
Pretty cool. Generally 4 to 6 times length of the snow, depending on how complex it is. Like, this one took me about 3 hours, but the return leg that I worked on, I spent about 6 hours on that, and it still doesn't work. So it can be very...
I think, and I'm no expert in the scenario, but it was working earlier, but I believe... was it a case of there was just a little bit too much in there and it decided it didn't like it anymore?
To be honest, I don't know. It was giving me an out-of-memory error saying there was a drive issue, so I don't know if it's just something somewhere broke, and I was too angry to try and figure out what it was, so I was just like, I'll rework a scenario, and we use that instead.
Because you do put a lot of time and effort into these scenarios, and they are all based on real-life timetables as well, I believe.
Yep, all as per real-time frame.
So this is a 2019 era?
2021.
2021.
This is sort of the deliveries you'll see are sort of the last sort of week or two of HST operation on the Midland.
Johnny Simulator Gaming says Flying Scotsman at London King's Cross. Callum, can I send you pictures for LLL on Instagram? I've never used Discord before and it looks too confusing. Yeah, drop them over to me on Instagram. That's not an issue at all. I'm not on. Don't go on Instagram very often, but I do have an account which is coming up for you on the screen right now. I'm more active on Twitter and Facebook than I am my other socials, but I am on Instagram. Hey, HST coming the other way.
Yeah, that's the Journey Shrinker. So that is, I believe, that HST in particular is the rail vehicle with the most miles on it in the UK ever.
Oh wow!
It's like over 1 million miles on the clock.
That's incredible.
Yeah. No.
I mean, to quote Only Fools and Horses, it's had 3 new heads and 4 new handles.
I mean, there'll be some parts must be original. If they've got original parts in Scots.
Hey, Jim Gamer GR, welcome to Dev Round. Subscribe, great to have you here. I think we can put the camera back up now. Shoddy 127. This is the Midland Mainline route, London St Pancras to Bedford. Hey, DXNUL 2823. Hello, how are you doing? 4 minute 47, I can neither confirm or deny the answer to locomotive location livery.
1 minute 47 is Richard holding a gun to your head. Blink twice if you.
Riley, there was a rail tour to Paynton a couple of weeks ago led by Bahamas. Oh, okay.
You are doing a speed. Tea and biscuits.
I do have brakes in. Is that tea and biscuits with the manager?
7 miles an hour over. Azuma would have dusted you in for that.
Ah, come on. So, Streamlabs do kind of these funky features where you can have online dashboards, so people can actually use the online dashboard to control my stream remotely, and put animations and do various bits and bobs. So I might have a little play with that as like a members only feature, members and mods only.
Can we have that as a mods feature, please, just so we can bully you?
I get enough of that. I'm married with 4 children. I'm the lowest in the pecking order. I am constantly bullied.
I managed to get you to put the emergency brakes on once. That's got to be like the pinnacle of trolling.
Who have we got in here? Jim Gamer GR, welcome, new subscriber. Greetings from Greece. Now, tell me you're just on holiday and you're not one of these really lucky people that lives in a lovely warm country like Greece. Hey, Platform 5, thank you very much, bud. That's very generous of you. Really appreciate that. Sam Brooks, I'm speeding, but it's alright because I have the brakes on. So we are coming up to the only bit of the Midland Main Line that I sign, which is a very small amount of the Midland Main Line. I think we are, anyway. Are we near Hendon? We must be coming down towards Hendon.
Yeah, I think that's either the next station or station after that you go through.
Londo Spark, how far over before there's a meeting without tea or biscuits? So Londo Spark, it's one of those things. If I misjudged my speed and I was 5 or 6 miles an hour over, I'd put the brakes in, correct it, and that's probably going to be the end of it, in all fairness. If you've got TPWS or another safety system that then trips you and knocks you out and does you for overspeed, you're going to need to report that immediately. If you get back to your depot and your manager does a download on you, they're probably going to have a quiet word with you. If you're doing it like, if it's like a one-off, a glitch in your drive, we're only human, we all make mistakes. If you were 20 or 30 miles an hour over, or something significant that's caused a massive rough ride, Lumo, then
there was the report came up for that.
Then you're definitely going to need to report that straight away. But if you're kind of, you know, you got to be grown up and you got to be sensible about these things at the end of the day. So if we're a couple of miles an hour over, it's not really going to be the end of the world. If you're constantly doing it, then you need to adapt your driving style. But you know, if it's kind of a crikey, yeah. So I signed the lines to the right. I signed from Hendon on the up and down Cricklewood lines, round the corner towards Neasden, and then Acton Canal Wharf and Acton Wells. This is the only bit of the Midland Mainline that I sign, and only those lines on the right. Graham Dudridge, hello, welcome, new subscriber, great to have you here. Where we are now is now the site of, or will soon be the site of, Brent Cross Station. We've got Cricklewood Depot.
That's the couple of HSTs we're already out of Easton. You mentioned the Lumo situation. There was a Grand Central, did something very similar back in May, and Rave have basically put a report out saying that they believe it is because obviously those talks don't stop at Peterborough, so the drivers were going and expecting to go down the fast line, but were put on the slow line and weren't expecting it, so didn't brake. Which I mean, when you drive a route very often, and you can get into a bit of a false sense of security, and you can start almost predetermining what the route's going to be and anticipating it. And sometimes if you've got a signal indication that's taking you somewhere you're not 100% familiar with, or you weren't expecting, sometimes it doesn't always register because you're almost driving on autopilot sometimes. That's not a good way to drive by any stretch of the imagination, and it's definitely something as train drivers we try and avoid doing. You're trying to stay concentrating all the time when you need to. But it does happen, as with this incident here. St Pancras in 3 and a bit miles. Hey, the British Ace is in. Hello, Joe. How are we doing? Are you still on holiday, my friend, or are you back? Hey, Reban's Random Stuff. My dad is a train driver. Fantastic. Riley, as a train driver, you should drive expecting to have to brake for anything. Yeah, you're quite right. You should always have your wits about you, and you know, if you see something that's not right, then slow down and stop. But you do it in everyday life. You work on autopilot on so many things in everyday life. There'll be tasks you carry out in your everyday life that you literally just do on autopilot. And driving a train, it carries that exact same risk. You can just get completely and utterly on autopilot. As bad as that sounds, that is what happens. You just drive 100% on autopilot from A to B, but you're subconsciously doing it. You're not driving on autopilot, you know, intentionally. It's subconscious, and that's where something called non-technical skills come in, which the railway are really hot on, and the airline industry are really hot on. And basically, that's teaching you techniques to maintain your concentration. You know, sort of things you can use in the cab. We use risk-triggered commentary driving, push-call react techniques, and various bits and bobs and other stuff that you use in order to maintain concentration. But yeah, the risk is, especially if you're running miles and miles and miles on green signals, you can just, yeah, it happens. It happens. I'd compare it to driving a car, and I use this analogy quite a lot with my trainees. The amount of times you've probably driven a car from A to B, for those of you that drive, and you know, you don't even think about it, you just do this. I've had it before when I've been taking my wife to work and I've driven completely in the wrong direction because I've had it in my head that I'm going somewhere else, and you end up just doing things on autopilot. Yeah, like what you were saying there with being on greens for ages. I mean, Lumo in theory could be on greens for 2.5 hours.
And two and a half hours constant driving, especially at high speed. the concentration level is pretty intense, and it's quite fatiguing as well at that stage. Platform 5, thank you very much, Bud. I'll let you finish your point, Emily, sorry. Butting in.
No, there's just a moment from when I used to work on board for a certain train operator. There was a driver manager got on, and I had to do an assessment on the driver. About halfway through the journey, the driver appears in the crew area to come get a coffee. I had a minor heart attack.
It's an autopilot.
But we just stopped at a red signal. Well, no, we'd stopped at a red signal, so the driver manager had taken over to get his competency, keep his competency levels up. And I just was like, what? Wait, what? You're not? Oh, yeah, of course.
It's a little bit worrying. Rafe the Train Spotter has become a member. Thank you very much, Rafe. British Ace, I'm good, mate. You got absolutely drenched today, if that answers your question. Please,
yeah,
Richard.
so that 66 at the start was going to be on the right-hand side behind these freight wagons. So, sorry about that.
And we should have some javelins in here as well. Who said megatones?
Richard, you didn't even window hang.
Window hanging. We need
Number 5 key on the keyboard.
I'm gonna slow down for this 15 coming into the platform. Woo!
As you can see here, I'm trying to go and hit the buffers for you. Don't
Buffers do not like to be eaten. So platform ramp, we want to be doing 15 and then 10 for the TPWS. I don't think it's here. You said earlier that TPWS isn't fitted on this route. However, we will be good and we will assume it is there and we will drive as if it was there. Yeah, GJ Barnard's quite right. I drive and always have in the back of my mind that it's not over until the engine is off. The roads are so manic post-pandemic at the moment. They absolutely are. And that's a really good way to look at it. And we get on the railway, you get a lot of incidents and a lot of spads happen at like the last signal before the driver's getting off. It'd be like the last signal of the last journey. That is a thing because people shut down a bit too early. You also tend to get an increase in incidents if people have got annual leave or something like that coming up and their mind's focused on going away to sunny climates, to Greece or somewhere like that, then you know there's an increased risk of incident because your mind's not with it. Or after you come back off a period of annual leave as well. And kind of knowing what the risks are and knowing what the triggers are is half the battle. If you know that there's an increased risk and you're susceptible to that, then you know you can mitigate that risk by changing your driving style or adopting different techniques within the cab. If this was a slam door train, all the passengers would have got off by now and walked and probably be out the station. We are creeping.
And that's why you have central door interlock.
Used to happen all the time on the old slam doors.
If you want to fly about a bit and have a look around St Pancras, don't release the doors and just fly around and not break the scenario.
Okay, we can do that. Is it the number?
8 can if you want. Again, for the era that this was like, this is basically a 10-year-old route at this point. For the fact that it's a 10-year-old game, it's not too terrible.
We were looking at having some 373s in there as well, weren't we?
Yeah,
well,
I couldn't remember who made them and sporting them.
It was a time issue. We'll say it was a time issue. Callum McCabe, I believe South Western Railway made a video called Keep It Out the Cab. That is an absolutely brilliant video, and I've been shown that at several different training events and stuff. That is a really good video, the South Western Keep It Out the Cab video. But yeah, that does highlight the risk. And by highlighting the risk and making drivers aware of the risk, that's half the battle at the end of the day. There we go. Okay, open the doors is U, I want to say. T and U?
T tank. Just T on this one.
Just T on this one. St Pancras International, we have arrived. We can do, as we are on the platform at St Pancras International, it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? See if this is going to work. Where's my button? The train now standing at platform number 3 terminates here. All change, please. All change. All change on platform number 3. This train terminates here. Hopefully that worked. It should have done. And then, of course, we have to do this one.
If you see something that doesn't look right, report it to a member of staff or text the British Transport Police on 61016. See it, say it, sorted.
See it, say it, sorted. Everyone loves that. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Emily. That was a really pleasant run.
You are. No. It was. That's like probably an easier scenario to make. The yeah.
My train sim is hopefully not crashed. This is interesting. So my train sim has lost the mouse focus.
Alt tab into it?
Yeah, I tried that, but that didn't... Okay, so the mouse is working, but it's not actually showing up on the screen. Yeah, no, it's hidden the cursor. That's annoying. We can alt tab it. Yeah, definitely no cursor showing up on the screen. Oh, that's really annoying. Okay,
that's fun.
So we'll have to go close window. This stream is going very well today. We'll put that screen up there.
Also, I was going to say, was getting the settings up, was that just a flex of you having a 4K screen?
Not at all. I don't actually run anything in 4K really. Let's try restarting Train Sim. This could take a long time. And we're playing in the DirectX 12 version, which doesn't seem to have any particular problems. It seems to be running pretty well. It is starting up. Okay, while we're waiting then, why don't we play another round of Locomotive Location Livery? And it gives me a chance to catch up with the chat.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Formula 47, big fan of See It, Say It, Sorted. I think you need help. Sussex Rally Enthusiast, do another German announcement. 9! That's all you're getting. Check out yesterday's Tram Sim stream and the one we done on the Niedertiller Bahn. There's some German announcements in there. Formula 47 forgot how much of a scenario wizard Emily is. Thank you. Monty Barnes Gaming, hi. Jim Gamer GR, Arthur Morgan, because you can bring well anyway. Yep, reading the wrong one there. Formula 47, I want to see this stage duet again. Chance of Emily face cam. We can probably arrange that at some point, but unfortunately it'll take a little bit of time to set up, more time than I've got at the moment. Yeah, Sussex Rally Enthusiast, not too bad, thank you.
If you are in the Discord, my face is in my diary chat, so you can see it there. My gorgeous, sexy face.
So if you want to see Emily's face, head over to the Discord server, link in the description below. And she has a diary channel, because Emily is railway staff. All opinions are her own. And yeah, some lovely pictures in costume as well.
Yeah, I see. I mean, I've probably spent as much time in a costume today as I have in normal clothes, so go figure.
So we are looking, I'm just scrolling through looking for the right service here. We are going to do a 319 back. Like I say, guys, come back tomorrow and we'll do it properly. We're not streaming tomorrow, by the way, because I'll be working, but come back tomorrow. Come back next time, we'll do it properly. I'm not even in the right route. That would help, wouldn't it? Midland Mainline. Okay, there we go. Right, let's have another go. And we are to Oscar 461207 Sutton to Luton, and this is around about a 50-minute run, and that will be it for today's stream. So, Locomotive Location Livery. Grape Juice 116, you have got the third number on my screen with number 19.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Gonna give you number 19, guys. 10 seconds for that locomotive livery location. Let me know in the chat what you think it is. Davidoff, Richard is now in the chat, or is it the fake Joe? I am not in the chat. I can tell you now that I am not in the chat. There we go. What do we reckon? Does that help you at all? Did I even press the button? We're doing really well here. 19, yes I did. We've already had 19, haven't we? Right, in that case we'll go to the next one on the list, which is Jim Gamer GR, number 13. Yeah. I don't think I can turn that off midstream, which is really annoying. We've had number 13 as well, so we're going to do number 16. There we go, guys. There's your 10 seconds. Let me know your thoughts on what that could be. So yeah, Riley, whoa, adverts during a live stream. That will not be happening again, Riley. That is an option in YouTube that I did not unclick. Yeah, that we had a bit of a conversation about that earlier. That's not my policy to put adverts in the middle of a live stream. Unless I go to the toilet or something like that, or go to get a drink, then you might see an ad. But the random YouTube ads, that is tea and biscuits for YouTube. That is not Dad Brow policy. There we go. What are we thinking, guys? What are we thinking? Right. So we're going to jump back into this scenario. This is using the AP Class 319. Unfortunately, I don't have the Thameslink branding patch installed, which is a little bit annoying. This is an AP scenario, but Emily, you have kind of given it your own little spin, I believe, in places.
Yeah, so I went through, my original scenario was in that sort of transitional era towards the end of 319, 377 and 387 operations. So you've got a real smorgasbord of liveries, you know, in that post-privatisation era. So it's quite an interesting time. It's like, for me, I always find variety is interesting. So
You've just cut out there. We've just lost you.
Oh no, yeah. Basically, variety for me is the spice of TS.
Yeah.
You know, the more liveries and the more different colours and shapes you see, I think is just, you know, like like I say, for me, that scenario we just did, there was X LNER livery, X East Midlands Trains livery, East Midlands Railway livery, X Greater Anglia livery. You know, that's 4 different liveries before we've done anything.
Just gives it, like you say, variety's the spice of life, and it just give it that, doesn't it? Got to set me GSMR
like, for me,
up. Well, hey, I like
yeah,
that.
if I was to say, try like somewhere like, I'm trying to think of somewhere that's got just this actually really good example of a place I would find really boring a train spot, Fenchurch Street. One type of train runs through there. You know, yeah.
We do keep losing you, Emily. You keep cutting out on us.
Oh, sorry. I will put Discord up thing. Oh, I can see myself. Yeah. No, like I say, like there's some locations that would be boring because there's no variety. But the more variety you can put in a scenario, the more interesting it is, the more fun it is. Hopefully.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you on that. Platform duties complete. Okay, we are off to Kentish Town. If we go into forward, we will be. Right, what were we reckoning for locomotive location livery? Shoddy 127's gone Britannia, Exeter, St David's. Oh, Davidoff, I mean Richard, is Joe in the chat? Or is it fake Joe? I believe the Joe in the chat is real Joe. Davidoff, I'm 99% sure that is real Joe in the chat. We are off. We've got a green. We are good for... I'm going to have to pay a bit more attention this time, aren't I? We're good for 30. Trying to catch up with the chat. Jim, Gamer, GR, Vine, Boom, sound effect. Absolutely. Oh no, the goofy R-Class. Sandbrook, CTC do have a lot of liveries though. Saw the Pride one at Fenchurch Street today. I think most companies have got a Pride train now, Trainbow, which is really good.
Yeah, I mean, I am going to be that person. I am an ED9 rep for my union. And one of my sort of things is, Pride trains are fun, but just putting a sticker on the side of the train doesn't make you a good company. You've got to back that up with actions, and that's one of my main irks with one of the liveries I've seen recently, is I know that company does absolutely nothing for ED&I, but are going, look at us, we had a drag queen on one of our trains, we're so fun, and having a Pride livery. You know, that's not how you do ED&I, and that's one of my big pet peeves.
Yeah, it almost becomes like a publicity stunt, doesn't it, rather than actually meaning anything, which is definitely not what you want.
It's called rainbow washing. It's, look at us, we do Pride. I mean, you literally walk down the high street, those Pride flavoured links on sale. What, you know, respectfully, Pride's important, but how does links factor into LGBT plus rights? It probably doesn't.
And I think you raise, we're getting quite deep and meaningful here. I think you do raise a really good point, Emily, with that. You know, it's almost like companies, to not to put it sort of in the wrong way, but it's companies jumping on the bandwagon for credit almost. And I think, you know, it gives the LGBTQ plus community a bit of a bad name in some ways, and people start thinking, oh, here we go again, you know, more rainbow this, rainbow that, and actually, you know, what you're seeing from company representatives and other people is not representative of the community.
Exactly. I mean, there are some very real and very scary things happening in the world right now, in places that we'd associate as being sort of safe enough countries, you know,
Yeah.
you know, for white people at least. And you know, look at parts of America, right? There are literally refugees fleeing from certain states. Think Texas as an example. Parents of trans children are having to run away from Texas basically because they will be done for child in the state. And it's things like that this hides and thingies, and that's why I'm, like I say, I get rather passionate.
Yeah, understandably, I think. We've got an S-car mark there. Shall I see if I can get this on the monitors? That'll be an achievement. That's a fail. Okay, so doors is T and U, I believe, isn't it?
Confirm, yeah.
On this one, yeah. Lovely. Jim Gamer, it's called Rainbow Capitalism. Callum raises a good point. Do train drivers choose what routes and stock they drive, or is it randomly assigned to you? So, Callum, it's normally going to be depot specific. So each depot will have its own traction and its own routes that depot operates. So if you work for South Eastern, for example, and you're based at Ashford, chances are you're going to drive 375s and you're going to drive 375s, 377s, 465s, and your route knowledge would be London Charing Cross via Tunbridge or Maidstone, London Victoria, and around to Margate via Canterbury. It's going to be very, very depot specific. Sometimes it's what they call link specific as well. So within a depot, you might have 4 or 5 what are called roster links. And basically, you'll start off in the bottom one, which has got all the really poor work, and as people retire, you'll move up into the next one and then up into the top one. And it could be that each roster link signs different work. So yeah, it's not down to the individual driver what they're going to do. It's down to the company. But you know, you choose what company you want to go to. You choose what depot you want to go to based on what you want to drive. I mean, if you want to drive 700s and you go and work for ScotRail, it's not going to happen. So yeah, you've kind of got to, you know, make that decision. For most of us, unfortunately, it's just our local depot, and that's what we're stuck with. Which is one of the things that really appeals to me with freight, because we do get a lot more variety, which is nice. The lad with the bucket hat, Richard, what's your favourite train to drive in any train sim world? That's a good question. I've got to say, probably the 465 in Train Sim World, or possibly the 323 in Train Sim World. I think they are both really, really nice trains to drive. Does this have a passenger view? Maxwell Monty Burns Gaming. Excellent. Is it 5 cam? There we go.
Yep.
A really nice passenger view as well.
So, fun fact with this one, when you go through the different variations of 319, the
If you
maquette
see something
changes
that doesn't
and the
look
layout
right,
changes.
report it to
So,
a member
I
of
think the
staff or
old
text the
Thameslink
British
or South
Transport
Central
Police
got a
on
little weird little format.
61016. See it, say it, sorted.
Sorry, I mean, I was playing the See It, Say It, Sorted announcements
Oh.
as I was saying.
Wow! Rude.
We're off to West Hampstead Thameslink.
By the way, to quickly cut back, Formula 47, I think Avanti's product training has been successful as they made sure to back it up and also made the livery and interior educational. Totally agree. As an example, LNER, who are sort of my local talk, they have 2 managers whose full-time job is ED&I. Not just LGBT plus stuff, but race, sex equality, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Literally everything. And I just, you know, like I say, that's really great, and I support those people having pride trains, but I just don't think, you know, you have a train for veterans, you have a train for, you know, that you stick a rainbow on. It's just an uncomfortable default for me at this point. And like I said, I think we have to back, you know, you have to make sure you're backing it up and doing all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. So we're coming down towards West Hampstead Thameslink platform number 2. Still getting the hang of the brakes on the 319. This is actually the first time I've driven this, so who knows. I was lucky enough many years ago, and it's a little bit of a naughty maybe, but I did cab ride this route all the way up to St Albans on a 319. I had a driving cab pass. I was legitimately in the cab. I mean, I was route learning. I should have got off at Bromley South. I just happened to stay on it to St Albans. So I have been up this in the cab, and it's when you're used to being south of the river with third rail everywhere, coming under the knitting, it's really kind of good to see how the railway's different in north of the river.
Richard, like, I was just imagining a phone call from your manager. Yeah, Richard, we need you here. Yeah, I'll be there in like 2 hours. What do you mean? You're just in Bromley South? That's what I did on the train by accident.
Are we a 4-car? I think we are, aren't we?
Yep, 4-car. Oh, shut the.
Yeah, right. I remember I'm a 4-car for the next stop. The brakes are really shocking as well. That's gonna take some getting used to.
Richard, if you are a 4-car, you know what you could do?
Pull down to the next.
See the little memory thing above the speedometer?
Oh, it's got a working train formation reminder. That's cool. We like that. I've still got reds on the front as well. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right.
Tea and biscuit.
Really? What do you reckon, guys? Is it tea and biscuits for having reds on the front? And now it's raining. Okay. Does Train Sim Classic have low adhesion simulated? You cut out on me there.
Yeah, it does. This is probably my favourite train.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 319s, I never got to sign them, but I understand they were notoriously bad in wet weather conditions. So we'll see how we get on. This could be interesting. I am trying to keep up with the chat. Big tea and biscuits moment. Tea and biscuits, Sam. Thanks for your support, guys. I really appreciate your support. You know. Okay, it's proper raining. Cricklewood. Where's the wipers? Have I got, like, can I speed the wipers up, or is that it?
Long press Shift V. No, that was fast mode.
Okay.
Long press V again. Long press V and they'll put you in fast mode.
Interesting. Yeah, I was going to mention there, guys. If I'm a 4-car and I've overshot the 4-car mark, if I'm a driver-only operated service, I've got two choices. I'm either going to stop the train beyond the 4-car mark, poke my head out, look back where possible, or I'm going to proceed up to the 8-car monitors. If it's chucking it down with rain, I'm probably going to proceed up to the 8-car monitors. I saw that red there and then suddenly had, like, panic stations. I thought that was my red coming round. Tracer from Berkshire, 769s must be dreadful in wet weather. I think 769s are dreadful in dry weather as well. I just think that's their kind of default position.
769s are what we do on the UK railways a lot. We have the brilliant idea, but then execute it terribly.
Yeah, we're not so good at re-engineering trains, are we? Class 66. I think the 319 does have an emergency brake. Yeah, we do. 1-2 full service in emergency. I don't know if you get much extra brake force in emergency, but it does have it. Right, so I'm using initial brake step 2 applications now because the weather is pretty crap, so I'm expecting low adhesion. So in reality, it depends on your company and what company you work for. I believe the driving policy on Thameslink was or is brake step 2 initial application in low adhesion conditions. And the reason they do that is because in brake step 1 the sanding equipment doesn't work. So that's why you're straight into brake step 2. There are a lot of drivers that would say that's not the best way to drive. I'm sort of inclined to agree with them on that. Earlier and lighter tends to be a far better technique for braking in low adhesion conditions, but the company driving policy, initial brake step 2 application. Davidoff, yeah, let's do it.
Post your numbers now for locomotive livery location.
Yeah, Joshua Ritchie, we'll press that button there. Hopefully this is going to work. Of course it's not going to work because nothing's working today like it should do. There we go.
Nicely.
Now it's working. Yeah, so the train on the top right there, that is a 769. And you are seeing pictures from our live stream pictures page in the Discord server. If you're not a member, there's an invitation link in the description below. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons today. Green signal, we're off to Hendon. Incidentally,
Richard, just stick it.
Say again?
Stick it in notch 4. Just stick it in notch 4 just so you get some wheel spin.
Oh, yeah, I can hear that. Just about. The game audio is quite low. Is the game audio a bit low for everybody else as well? Let me know and I can whack the game audio up a bit. Oh, yeah, that's not good. GJ Barnard, you're the third number on my screen with number 5 for locomotive location livery.
Let's play locomotive livery location.
Give you box number 5, guys. 10 seconds for that locomotive location and livery. Hey, EB43, welcome to Dad Brownie subscriber. Great to have you here. What are you reckoning from that? Do tell me what you're thinking in the chat. Low, plus game. Yeah, it's a bit quiet. Okay, we'll get to the next station and then I'll try and increase the game volume. I'm guessing Emily sounds okay. Is Emily's volume okay, guys? Or do you need that up a bit as well? Britannia and Broughton at Paynton, says Sussex Rail Enthusiast. TR9 has gone for a kettle. Need to be more specific than that, bud. Transport from Berkshire. Black 5 Fort William. TTV.
Richard,
yep.
if I said it was a Stanier designed steam loco somewhere within Great Britain in BR Black, would that be close enough?
Well, ashamedly, I would say that my knowledge of kettles is such that I don't know if it's a Stanier built locomotive.
Fair. I genuinely, yeah. The only reason I know kettles is from driving them in TS class.
Yeah, I haven't done any kettles in Train Sim Classic. Would you say they're better in Classic than they are World?
It depends. The Bossman game ones, I always blow them up because I can't drive them because they're that complicated to drive. Should I make you some sort of Steam scenario for the next stream?
We could do on a route that I'm familiar with. That would be pretty good because then I can concentrate more on the Steam rather than the route, if that makes sense.
I can give that a go. Scenario will be on your desk by Monday. Formula 47. Last stream, I didn't actually cheat. I was just attentive. So it was Loco Class 66 who shared the photo. And they also shared a photo of where they were on their holidays in the staff chat. I happened to see that photo.
Oh, yeah, but you had access to the staff chat, so that constitutes cheating.
Me and Artemis, both the mods in that stream, have access to that.
Mike, this run is taking us up to St Albans. Or is it Luton? We're up to Luton. 13:59, so we're around about half an hour, and we'll be wrapping it up for today. Formula 47, yeah, you're not wrong. It is a kettle. I'll give you that much, guys. It is a kettle. It is a kettle. Loco 66 has gone LMS Jubilee 5596 Bahamas. Not sure of the location yet. Sussex Rail Enthusiast has gone Britannia at Newton Abbot. Normally at this point we've kind of got a general consensus about what it is. So it's good to see that lots of people disagreeing. Oh, the rain.
As the rain stopped, you may want to knock that.
Is that Shift and V or Control and V?
Shift V short press.
Ah, there we go. We're off to Mill Hill Broadway. Platform 5 gained 1 sub. Excellent, bud. Talking of subs, if you haven't already, guys, please do hit that like button. Consider subscribing. Really, really does help me out. Normally these streams... who am I kidding? I was going to say normally these streams go to plan, but that would be a lie. Harren Capadia, I like the Thameslink line. Yeah, no, I'd agree with you. Hey, Sussex Rail Enthusiast, thank you very much, my friend. Definitely Britannia at Newton Abbot. You'd have to wait till the end of the stream to find out. We'll keep the power in. We've got a little bit of distance. We're good for 60. Oh no, we've got 2 yellows. Okay. 2 yellows. Let's get some brake in. Penguin says no idea what it is, but I think the location is Exeter St David's. I can neither confirm nor deny that. Mike, how are you dealing with a low adhesion conditions driver? The rails are expected. So during low adhesion, during the low adhesion season or low adhesion in general, the rails are categorised in 3 ways. So it's either... I've got to remember how it is now. It's either... It's expected or reportable. So the
emails I get are in colours.
You get the national adhesion forecast where you get the like green, yellow, red, black.
Yeah. No, sorry. Yeah, that's the ones I've seen.
But in terms of neutral spot, in terms of when we report low adhesion to the signaller, if we encounter low adhesion, then we do need to report that. But the rail is either going to be as expected or it's going to be a reportable condition. So if you're driving along, you're approaching a station, it's a station that you know has poor adhesion because of overhanging trees, gradient, try not to laugh at this one, flange lubricators, that sort of thing on the approach to the station. So you know it's notorious for low adhesion, you put the brakes in and you get low adhesion. You're expecting that. So the rail is... as expected. So your next stage is reportable, which basically means that it's worse than expected, which means you're going to report it. So if you're coming into a station, you put the brake on, it does what? It slips a bit, but it's as you'd expect, that's fine. No need to tell anyone. If you come into a station, put the brake in and your speedo drops to 0 and you go shooting through the other side, first thing you do is change your pants, then you tell somebody. I am absolutely going very, very slow. Tiger, that's the one, Mike. Good, expected, reportable. Good's the one I missed, yeah. Considering I drive railhead treatment trains all through the autumn, I really probably should know that. Transport from Berkshire, can you say what country it is in? Country? I tell you what country it's in. It's in the UK. As opposed to Scotland and Wales. If you meant county...
So was that the... Sorry, my head hurts. Was that Triple L that we were talking about there?
Yes.
Richard, I don't want to be that person, but it's the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, i.e. England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland.
There we go. Look at that. See, you get this, don't you? It's like, okay, let's look at tennis. I'm a supporter of the United Kingdom, although I do think Scotland should have the right to vote on their future. But we'll stay out of the politics.
Yeah, let's park that before that was just. I'll be banning everyone in the chat before long. I'm banning myself at the yeah. So
I believe in the right to choose, but you know, there we go. We could get into Brexit. No, let's moving on. I've forgotten what the original point was now. Do you know that?
We're talking about United Kingdom. Yeah, because you got the United Kingdom, which is everything. Great Britain, which is the island that we're all on, and Britain, which is England and Wales? Question mark.
So yeah, you get like, let's take Andy Murray, tennis player. If he wins, he's a great British tennis player. If he loses, he's Scottish. It's just the way it works.
Have you closed the doors? Oh yeah, you have. My bad. This one has DSD enabled, by the way, so don't start the cab for too long.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm hitting Q and E. Ouch.
Actually, nice little feature. When you go back in the cab, move over to the second man side. Press Control and D.
Oh, you can put the flag up.
Flat. Yep, and that's the DSD isolated.
Oh, perfect. Do you like
this train for features is brilliant.
Are you a fan of the way Train Sim World works with basically the you know, where you can get up and walk around in first person? Is it first person or third person? I always mix those ones up.
First person, yeah. No, getting up and walk around is great. I wish the safety systems were enabled by default. Also, press the L key on your keyboard.
What did that do?
Should have turned the cab light off, but it hasn't. Shift L. There we go. That'll give you like 2 extra frames per second.
Foxy Gaming, yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you? Oh God, Richard, as a Scotsman, it really annoys me. Yeah, I can imagine, Callum. I can imagine. Are you talking about the Andy Murray issue or the independence issue? We're not talking independence here. We're moving on.
No, please, no, Richard. Like, I've already banned one person tonight. I don't want to ban them.
So 75.
Richard, do you know why Britain's called Great Britain?
Something to do with Britannia would be my.
No. It's much simpler than that. So we've never lost a war, right? So back in the olden days, before sort of WW1, a battle was You went to the opposing side and said, right, we will meet in this field on this day at this time, and we'll have a fight. Last man standing wins.
I'll see you after school.
Pretty much. Well, because we've never lost a war, when our allies see us marching up, they go, great, Britain, because they know they're on the winning side.
I'm not sure whether that's
We are now, Greg.
I'm not sure whether that's a sad trombone or a mystery biscuits, to be honest with you, at this point.
I wish it was mystery biscuits, but it's a sad trombone and heads being shaken and all that kind of stuff.
Hey, Crazy Dash, how are you doing? Mike, yeah, do you sign Mitre Bridge North London lines? I have a signalling related question for you. Yes, Mike, I do sign the West London lines as far as Mitre Bridge. I go around the corner to South West Sidings, Wilson Euro Terminal, Acton Lane Reception, then round to Acton Mainline, or down via Acton Central, South Acton to Bollow Lane, and the South Western line. So yeah, I've got a little bit of route knowledge in that area, which is more than I've got here because there's a station coming up. This is Elstree and Boreham Wood. I actually done a T3 possession job here not so long ago, which was nice.
I'm going to quickly jump in that accents thing, Callum. The Scottish and Irish accents are quite similar. And the German accent you're doing is a Bavarian accent, which is... So I'm in a gaming community, which I won't promote.
Hey, go ahead if you want to. It's optional.
Not that I don't want to, but it's just not relevant, really.
Okay.
But one of their admins is... Oh, well, he was, sorry, wasn't admin. Was from Germany. And the accent everyone does when we do a German accent is the Bavarian accent, right? And they all hate Bavaria, it turns out.
Oh dear.
It's like literally like all the stereotypes you can think of Germany, Bavaria.
Harrow and Capeda. I was in a 319 a couple of weeks ago and a 390 flew past us and scared the hell out of me because you can hear the outside so well. The last time I was on a 319, I must say, was Brighton Mainline a long time ago. Last time I was on it as a passenger. And I remember as you went past, like you went through a tunnel or another train come past, the doors used to kind of, with the pressure difference where they were suspended, used to kind of push in and bang as something went past you. And it was terrifying.
Formula 47, bad facts. Well, we know the wives of Henry VIII, wife number 5, Anne of Cleves. Obviously, Henry was too busy sitting at home doing king things, right? I don't know what those were, but sent Hans Holbein around Europe to paint pictures of ladies and send them back to her. Holbein's paintings are available in the National Portrait Gallery. They have an almost photographic quality to them. Henry would get these paintings sent back, look at them, decide, was she the one? So you get left pile, right pile, left pile, right. Anne of Cleves was one of those ladies. Now, she's actually Anna of Claver.
This is going to relate to Tinder somewhere, isn't it?
No, that was... I did the Tinder jokey bit with the piles of paintings. Anyway, yeah. But, so she's actually Anna of Claver, but Henry couldn't pronounce Claver, apparently. So she's now Anne of Cleves. No one corrects the king, she's Anne of Cleves. Anyway, and obviously decides that him in his 40s decides that this 20-year-old girl is repulsive and basically refuses to marry her. But at this point, they'd already been married, so she gets like a load of money and gets to live in a castle for the rest of her life in amazing luxury.
Excellent. Gethin Elsam says the 319 is known as a 769 in Wales, just a 319 with diesel engines fitted. Yeah, we had a few down in the southeast, but they're not particularly good. I don't think they're doing that well in Wales as well, if I'm being honest. But
they're not in Wales anymore. They got demobbed.
Well, there you go. Lots of money spent on nothing.
We've still got them they've got them in the northwest. because Northern are still trying to persist with. Callum, people do actually sound different, but with Scotland and sort of the north of England as well, accents are very specific once you get out of the major cities, because inherently in those sort of less well-to-do parts of the country, there's less social mobility. So for me, I'm from a small town in South Northumberland. Generally, up until about 30 years ago, you were born in the town, you went to school in the town, you worked in the pit, you died in the town, right? So you can literally, there's like 3 towns within sort of like 5 miles of each other, and they've all got completely unique accents. So it's more of a social mobility thing. But with America, their accents are different, but yeah, we just don't notice it because you probably don't have that much exposure to Americans. Also, power? Question mark? Oh no, red.
So 20 for the AWS magnet, depending on your company's operating instructions. Push, call, react. So red ahead, stopping at the red, and then we target fix the red until the train has come to a stand. Many spads happen at low speed because the driver slowed the train down, and then their perception of risk decreases, so they become relaxed because basically you've done all the work, you've taken the speed out, and then you creep past the red signal at a couple of miles an hour because you were too busy being distracted by something, is the safest way of saying that. And as a rule, you want to aim to stop about a coach length away from the signal, which that's... We'll go into the outside view and have a look. Brake step 3, DRA on and into neutral, so the train is now secure. That's about half a coach length, so yeah, we should have stopped a little bit further back than that, but no drama. And as soon as we stop, again, company operating instructions, if you stop at a red signal and you can't see the reason why you're stopped there, you press this lovely button here, which really annoys signallers, and it will come back wait, because it always does. Beep beep.
I don't think this one actually says wait.
There we go, wait.
Oh, it does.
So now we have to hope the scenario is not broken. We can actually finish it. Formula 47, what is the best sounding multiple unit? See, I'm going to say, like, original
Richard,
Braille networkers.
Can you do me a favour? Can you check on the map where Radlett is?
Am I going the wrong way here? No, that's St Albans. Okay. This is going to be a... There it is. And where's my train? Pretty much straight in front of me. Has it broken? What are we thinking? Whilst we try and work out if it's broken or not, we will play locomotive.
Press the tab key on your keyboard. Is there anything I'll ask?
Request a pass signal.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
At danger denied.
We'll give it another 2 minutes and I'll send you a random scenario to do it for some time.
Let's play locomotive location livery while we're waiting.
Post your numbers now for locomotive livery location.
We'll have a go at that and I'll catch up with the chat whilst we're waiting. Mike, so do you know what the TNH is? I've heard it a few times and the best I can come up with is Tottenham and Holloway. I'm not 100% sure. It's not an area I signed, but Tottenham and Holloway does sound familiar. Crazy Dash. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Something kind of went past, almost. Monty Burns Gaming. Pacer is the best sounding multiple unit. It's a bus.
Hang on, which pace? 142 or 143?
Yes, good question. 142 or 143?
One of them sounds really rubbish, and the other one sounds like a moped, but you know.
Loco Class 66, I thought the T&H stood for Tottenham and Hampstead. Do you sign that area, Loco 66? I think you've been passed to the wrong platform at Radlett. I don't know if there's any way of changing that. Check the points at the junction.
Yeah.
Are we able to manually...
I think we can't. I think the scenario's broken. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, look,
I'll find you something to do in the meantime.
It's going Bang Road. That's pretty irritating. I'm guessing if I go past that, it's just going to flag me up as spadded and end of route.
No, it'll let you spad, but as soon as you go over point out set the wrong way, it'll derail you.
They are set the right way, though, aren't they? They're not trailing against me. Should we give it a go?
You can go for it. You can't, nothing.
Oh, what have I done? I've gone into off, haven't I? So we go... We can do an operational procedure. Oh, my radio's gone off and everything. Okay, we won't worry about that. So we go... Hello, Signal. This is the driver of 2 Oscar 46 at Whiskey Hotel 2... What? Okay, that's
definitely... driver. Are you okay?
I no longer exist in the world, Signaler. Driver out. Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. Let's do locomotive location livery. Ashley Smashley, 22.
Let's play locomotive livery location.
You're not blaming AP for that one. You're going to take that one. It's a feature. It's just a bugged feature. We are 10:30, so we're going to wrap it up pretty soon anyway. Let me know, guys, what you think for locomotive location livery. What have we got on here that we can just have a little play with? So, just something like 15 minutes just so we can finish off locomotive location livery.
You could rerun one of the ones that I did, like the 700 out of Blackfriars. Just for the scene.
I've still got your 700 running here somewhere, I believe.
I mean, my 319 would probably work, but yeah, I'd say if you do it'll be Southeastern Networks, would be in standard, and then at the back.
Yeah.
No, that's South London Network. If you go standard scenarios, at the top. Hang on, I'm trying to watch you through this.
Southeastern Network.
My bad.
I've got it.
Yep, there you go. And then 700.
1257 London Cannon Street to Orpington.
That's the ticket. Oh, actually, hang on. You could do my Hastings running, because I don't think you did. It'll literally take 10 seconds to install, and you've got all the requirements. So.
Yeah, that's getting on an hour, isn't it, that one?
I think it's about 40 minutes to complete it, but you don't have to complete it. It's just something different.
Yeah, well... No, I think we'll just hop into something shortish for the minute.
That's fine. I mean, like I say, any of those, you don't have to complete them. It's just something to push scenery past the window.
Let's have a little go on... Where's the South London Network? We'll do it in quick drive. You can tell I'm not very competent in this game. You would never have guessed.
You could do quick drive South London, like Victoria to Bridge. in anything really.
Ah, yeah, that's a shout. That's a shout. Let's go with that. London Victoria to London Bridge, inner or outer. Will it let me go around to Blackfriars actually on that?
No, this route doesn't have that in it.
Doesn't have that particular bit. So London Bridge inner it'll be. We're not going to take an HST round there. This will be quite a short run in about 20 minutes or so. We'll make it as an ECS movement.
Ooh, 319 on DC.
Yeah, that works. What else have I got that goes that way?
Merchant Navy. Actually, you could do that. Have a go at the kettle.
I'll save that one. I'm not feeling brave. APT, that'd be good. A 465. That's not an AP 465. What is the standard?
456.
Yeah, what's the standard one like? Let's.
I mean, I've got the stream muted, so it doesn't affect.
Let's just go with that for now. Let's do a little ECS run round. It is a route that I sign 90% of in real life. So, what are we reckoning on locomotive location delivery? GJ Barnard, BR Standard Class 7, Britannia at Exeter St David's. Foxy Gaming, classic train sim never lets you finish a route. It's irritating, isn't it? Sussex Round Enthusiast 7000000 Britannia at Exeter St David's.
That's.
You can really tell the difference after being in an AP train, can't you? You definitely can, yeah.
That's a bit grim. I'm sorry.
Do you know what? We're ECS. If we can even get it to work.
Your brakes on, press.
There we go. That does tend to help, doesn't it, if you take the brake off?
Don't worry, guys. I'll give Richard a 411 to drive, and he'll hopefully enjoy that a bit more next.
We'll just do this one round to Bridge. Oh, actually, will this run via Battersea Park? I'm guessing not, actually, because it's coming out the southeastern side.
No, probably.
Or is it going to go round via the Chathams? We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I did this was via Battersea Park, so I did this. I was going to do this for one of my YouTube videos because I do YouTube as well, folks.
Yeah, head over to Emily's channel.
Self-promote.
Promote away. Promote away. By all means. What's the oldest train you've driven and the newest train you've driven? Callum, the oldest train I've driven will definitely be Class 73. Someone asked me earlier if I have driven Dick Mabbott. That's not funny. Yes, I have driven that locomotive.
See that gentleman, right? I understand he's obviously he's a great guy to have a train named after him. But surely at some point someone told him.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's an unfortunate name, isn't it? I believe would be a fair comment.
Like, how did he survive school?
He used Richard.
All right. Being professional. But I've actually like with Callum's question, what's the oldest and newest train you've driven? I did work experience with Nexus, Tanvia Metro, and had the opportunity to basically drive one of their trains 100 yards across the shed there and back. So the oldest and the newest train I've driven is a Tanvia Metro car.
Well, there you go. We are going down via the Atlantic lines, I believe. I don't sign this bit. Disclaimer. This particular bit of route is not on my route card. So we've just passed over Groves and the bridge. I had to walk across that bridge in a T3 worksite, one yellow, a little while ago. And when you walk on the track, if you followed my train driver rules videos, which I will hopefully get around to updating soon, you're supposed to walk on the ballast to ballast. You don't step on the rails, you don't step on the sleepers. So this wasn't an engineering worksite, so there's no trains running, the power's off and everything else. But going across that bridge, I'm pretty sure the sleepers were the safest thing to stand on. It was not very nice.
I suppose that probably hasn't been overhauled, shall we say, since retention toilets were fitted to trains.
Probably. Yeah, we do when we do track renewals and stuff. A lot of the ballast and the spoil we take away is marked as contaminated waste.
You see, that feels a kind of wasteful in a way, because that's got to go to a deep landfill, and it's basically just tons and tons of aggregate. Just, you know what I mean? Like, it feels a shame that you can't reuse it, but also
I believe it is cleaned and recycled.
Oh, fair enough.
It's just coming past Stewart's Lane, around towards Factory Junction. Hey, Sandy Beach, no worries, great to have you here. Callum, do passenger drivers wear the same equipment as freight drivers? Not necessarily, no. Obviously, company uniform will be up to your individual company. A lot of the time on freight, though, you're going to have to wear full orange PPE because of the nature of the sites you're going to be visiting. Not always, does depend on the customer and where you're going. But yeah, it does differ. So we are at Factory Junction. The lines coming in from our right are the Ludgate lines, which will take you around to Long Edge. Then you can access the West London line, or you can access the South Western Mainline Windsor sides, or the Brighton Mainline via Pouparts Junction. This is a very steep bit of route in real life. It's showing us flat on here, but when you've got a heavy freight train on, this is a very steep bit of route as we come through Wandsworth Road. So I'm now on the bit that I signed, so I don't have any excuses. My only excuse would be I only know the freight speeds and not the passenger speeds. That's a pretty poor excuse, but yeah, Formula 47, always a high vis available. Yeah, that goes without. That's pretty standard. All train crew will carry a high vis. Monty, but yeah, the motor sounds are not too bad, to be fair. Let's have another go at locomotive location livery. We've probably got about 2 more rounds in this before we do a reveal and before we wrap the stream up. So,
post your numbers now for locomotive livery location.
Yeah, Callum, I believe safety footwear is a requirement because it's a requirement to access the track as part of your PTS. So I'd be quite surprised. I'm not saying it's not happened, but I think they're probably supposed to be wearing safety footwear.
I know at Lumo, even though, like, if we have to go onto the track, something has gone horrendously wrong, we had to have safety footwear. I've still got my steel toe cap Chelsea boots that I wore with a skirt because, you know, why not?
Why not? So we are now on the down Atlantic. The lines to our left are the up and down Chathams.
Foxy Gaming, that happens a lot on the east coast of Peterborough. I have got footage of a in the 6 foot at Peterborough.
Nexus, that's an interesting comment. Can you please prove how Armstrong Powerhouse is safe? Not quite sure what you mean by that comment, bud. So 30 mile an hour coming around across the top of Brixton. Incidentally, I shall be sitting here tomorrow on a freight train for most of the day. It's my wife's birthday tomorrow, and I'm going to be sitting on a freight train. We're doing track renewals along here at the moment, so I will be in this vicinity tomorrow.
Actually, what time do you knock off from that, if you don't mind me asking? And do you knock off in London, or do you take the train back?
I believe it's in London, but I without double checking, I can't tell you. I don't even know what time I start.
King's Cross Station tomorrow is part of London Pride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, by the way, in all seriousness, folks, if you are in London tomorrow, come say hi in King's Cross. If you find me, say hi. I will give you some Pride merch because I was told to give it out so you can have some.
Formula 47 says, happy birthday, Mum Rail. Fern Kern, how are the ergonomics for drivers on British trains? What ergonomics? Excuse me. Depends on what you're driving, really. Some of them, like the newer stock, like the 700 and stuff, are really good. Some of the older stuff is questionable. The driver was just an afterthought.
Are you saying the ergonomics of the Class 69 cab aren't great?
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
The likelihood is very, 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 very remote that something will go wrong. But in exactly the same way that you can be defrauded, you know, just going to an ATM, you know, stuff online has happened.
So guys, locomotive location livery. We're going to go with Pig and Bob grape juice number 21.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
No, you're fine. What do you reckon, guys? Oh, fantastic. I've seen the pictures of you dressed up. It looks brilliant. So coming through Denmark Hill, Crofton Road Junction is ahead of us. If we are going anywhere other than London Bridge or towards London, we need lunars at this signal. This is your last point to cross over if you don't want to go to London.
Lunars, is that the white feathers?
Yeah, I believe you call them feathers up north, or flashes, or route indicator, junction route indicator, I believe is the correct terminology.
I've literally never heard them called lunars. That's
no,
a new one to me.
Down in the south, they are referred to as lunars. So we're coming around to Peckham Rye Junction. Not too far to go. Sandbrooks wants number 4 on locomotive location livery. We are speeding, but not too bad. So the lines to our left are the up and down Catford lines. They'll take you... so we're going through Peckham Rye. Next station would be Nunhead. At Nunhead you could swing a left, drop down to Lewisham, or you can continue around the Catford Loop and join up with the South Eastern Main Line at Shortlands. We are now on the Atlantics, which is sometimes referred to as the South London lines. Actually, no, I believe the line name changes at Peckham Rye. I believe we are now on the South Londons. I don't actually sign this bit of route that we're going over now, so my route knowledge expired at the junction. We are winging it. Hey, lots of love. Happy birthday, Mum Ralph. Fantastic. I think she's gone to bed. I'll pass that on. So we are about 5-10 minutes away from London Bridge, and then we're going to wrap it up for the night. So we're now passing under the Catford lines. And we are good for 60, so I don't know why I'm dawdling. Should we let's do another round.
Post your numbers now for locomotive livery location.
Queen's Road, Peckham, just coming up round the corner. Callum, that's a really good question. Is a train driver a good career, and what qualifications do you need to start out recruiting drivers? So each company will have their own set of qualifications that they require. Most of them is going to be at least GCSE level education. Some companies are asking for a university degree now. The actual train driver's course that you take, although the qualification isn't an equivalent, the actual train driver's course that you take is equivalent to sort of doing a degree type course. It's pretty in depth. I would say it was a good career. Depends on what company you work for. You know, it's a very subjective question. For me, yes, I enjoy my job. I like trains. I've got an interest in the job, so for me, it's good. There are a lot of downsides to the job. Shift work definitely isn't for everyone. You can be spending long hours on your own in the cab, which isn't for everyone. You know, you have got the possibility of having incidents while you're out there. It can be very tiring concentrating for long periods. I've made a couple of videos on the channel, sort of how hard is it to drive a train and some bits and bobs like that. 10 things I hate about being a train driver, 10 things I like about being a train driver, 10 things you should know about being a train driver. So do go and check those out, they'll give you a bit more of an insight. Coming through South Bermondsey, we're about to join the London Bridge lines.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Bevel Kent, number 13, which we've already had. So we're going to go to Wookie 390 for 21, which we've already had. Amy, number 3. There we go. It's been a challenging one today. Kettles are a little bit more challenging. This is your last opportunity to guess, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you that one person, I have seen at least one person in the chat that has got it right, as we are motoring down towards London Bridge. Yeah, Callum, you should be absolutely fine with that. What's going to happen, though, when you apply is the company are going to invite you to an assessment day. So they're basically going to put you through a series of tests. You've got psychometric test, memory test, reaction test, coordination test, various different things to actually test your ability to do the job. So your qualifications alone are not enough. They're actually going to put you through industry standard tests in order to check that you are a suitable candidate for the job. Tradesman from Bucks, goes Black 5 at Exeter St David's. 1 if the 20 coming into London Bridge. Monty Burns Gaming, how easy is it to become a driver on a preserve railway? Depends on what preserved railway you go to. I don't have a massive knowledge of preserve railway scene, I must say. It's probably easier to become a driver on the Mainline. There's definitely a hierarchy in preserve railway, so you are going to start at the bottom and work your way up, and it could be maybe 10-15 years before you do that. Is Sussex Rail Enthusiast still in? Because I know Sussex Rail Enthusiast volunteers at one of the Heritage Railways, so he might be able to give you a little bit more information on that. Yeah,
Hey Ardy, I hope you enjoyed the theatre.
Yeah, Monty Burns. I should imagine it's quite a boring job as well. ATO, yeah.
They don't have ATO when you come on and off shed. That route's actually NTS. It's quite a good little.
I've never been on it. I spent a little bit of time in Glasgow a couple of years ago, but I didn't go on it. I wish I had.
You know what we actually do need to do with you before, like this, or during this summer? Canterbury Metro.
Yes.
Oh, actually, Richard, have you got the ability to play video on stream?
I could possibly do that, yeah.
I would love for you in the stream to react to a certain performance. It's not got me in it, don't worry.
Is it copyrighted material?
Possibly, but because you've got your face cam on and there's a chat up and you're reacting to it, that's fair. And it won't get flagged by audio. It's not that kind of copyrighted.
Right, coming into London Bridge. I'm happy to do that if we end the stream and then just restart another stream.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good shout. Just to be safe.
Just to be on the safe side. Yeah, that's not an issue at all. I'm guessing it's something to do with Tyne and Weir.
Oh, it's the greatest performance of all time. If you get to the end of it, I'll be impressed.
There we are, full service, DRA, and into neutral, reds up. Okay, so we go off on that one, and then, yeah, the buttons don't even work. Brilliant. Okie dokie, guys, let's finish this off.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Been a little bit of an all-over stream today. Who have we got guessing in there? GJ Barnard going back to be our standard class 7. Britannia Exeter St David's because of the new depot building. Interesting. What are we reckoning? This has been a good one tonight. That's 2 good ones we've had on the trot. So let's press that magic button. The first person I saw to get this right was Sussex Rail Enthusiast.
It's time to reveal today's Locomotive Livery Location.
Yeah, thanks very much for sending that in, Davidoff. Well done to everyone who got that correct. That was Britannia at Exeter St David's. Brilliant. I've got quite a few Steam Loco pictures that have been sent in, and I'm always a bit kind of wary about using them because I like to kind of make sure there's something in the location which makes it recognisable to the majority, and I think the depot building and the GWR sign was probably enough to give it away in this one. But some of the ones I've got are kind of locos on sheds at preserved railways, and I just think that might be a little bit too obscure for the majority of people, but you never know. You never know. So let's press that button there. It's been a bit all over the place today, guys, but it's been good. Thank you very much for joining us, Emily. It's been really nice to have your input and to have someone to chat to as well in the stream. It's been really good, so thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
No, you're very welcome, and thank you for doing the scenario. Do you want to shout out your channel once again?
I am Northern Princess Productions. You see me in the chat with the little spanner, and I'm also on Friends and Community Mods with all my lovely friends in scenario.
So do go and check those out. That would be absolutely brilliant. It's such a little thing when people subscribe and like and stuff, but the appreciation is kind of why we do this. Nobody's getting rich off of doing this. Like I said earlier, it's because we enjoy doing it. So a little like and subscribe really does go a long way. Incidentally, if you haven't already, it's on the screen for you now. Like and subscribe. If you want to, you can join our Discord community. You'll find Emily's Diary channel over there. Amongst others, there is an invitation link in the description below. You can also follow me on my social media channels, which are on the screen for you right now. I am going to end this stream, and then about a minute later, I am going to start another stream, so we can do a how long's the video, Emily?
Like 5-ish minute.
Yeah, we're going to do a little reaction on a.
Oh, actually, sorry. It's 9 minutes 35 seconds. It's a bit long, but to be honest, if you get to 5 minutes, I'll be impressed.
Rightio. Okay, so if you get a notification that I've gone live again, that's what it'll be for. In the meantime, press that button there. That should start the music. Thank you very, very much for watching, guys. Thank you to everyone who super chatted, subscribed, and all my members, moderators. You are all fantastic. See you in the next one.